Imagine an ancient, invisible energy so intense it's described as a coiled, fiery serpent sleeping at the base of your spine. For over 1,000 years, Himalayan sages guarded it as the ultimate cheat code to human consciousness, warning that waking it up could transform you into an enlightened being or completely destroy you. Fast forward to the 1970s in California. Instead of monks in caves, you've got psychiatrists and a biomechanical engineer hooking people up to machines, claiming you could accidentally trigger this terrifying serpent power just by taking a bumpy car ride or sitting next to a vibrating air conditioning duct. This is the story of the Kundalini awakening, the ancient spiritual software that modern science tried to diagnose as a literal nervous system glitch. India, roughly the 8th to 12th centuries CE. Tantric monks aren't just meditating. They are mapping out the subtle body, an invisible energetic anatomy running parallel to our physical flesh. At the very bottom of this map, locked in the root chakra or Muladhara, is a dormant, feminine energy known as Kundalini, which literally translates to the coiled one. She is the final boss of spiritual energy, resting in a state of potential like a sleeping snake. But the goal wasn't just to let her sleep. Hatha yogis invented hardcore physical techniques, breath control, intense muscular locks, to force this serpent to wake up, uncoil, and shoot straight up the spinal column. But to understand why this terrified 1970s doctors, you have to understand the mechanics. Here is the Kundalini awakening explained like you're 5. Imagine your spine is a hollow elevator shaft called the Sushumna. At the bottom is a massive, tightly wound spring of pure, fiery energy. When you hit the right buttons through intense meditation and breathing, that spring violently releases, shooting a blazing elevator car up the shaft, crashing through different floors, which are your chakras, until it smashes into the penthouse suite at the crown of your head. When it hits the roof, boom, your mind dissolves, you merge with the universe, and you reach ultimate enlightenment. But if the elevator gets stuck or goes up the wrong way, it completely fries the building's electrical grid. For centuries, this was an elite, secret, mystical practice. But then the 20th century happened, and Western-educated doctors looked at this ancient fiery serpent and said, "Bro, that's just biology." In 1927, an Indian physician named Vasant G. Raleigh published a book deciding that the magical Kundalini serpent was literally just the right vagus nerve. Raleigh claimed that by doing intense yoga techniques, you weren't waking up a goddess. You were just hacking your parasympathetic nervous system and intentionally deranging your biology to gain control over normally involuntary bodily functions. Then came the 1970s counterculture. People are dropping LSD, doing Zen meditation, playing with Wicca, and suddenly psychiatric clinics are flooded with people having full-blown meltdowns. They're reporting tingling toes, temporary paralysis, visual hallucinations, and a terrifying rushing sensation up their spine and neck. Enter Itzhak Bentov, an Israeli-American biomechanical engineer. Bentov looked at these people vibrating on the floor and didn't see a spiritual awakening. He saw a sensory motor cortex syndrome. Bentov hooked subjects up to ballistocardiographs and concluded that Kundalini was just a biological stress release mechanism. According to Bentov, certain meditations, or even just random mechanical vibrations from a car ride, could cause your aorta, your main heart artery, to vibrate like a tuning fork. This created a pulsating magnetic field around the brain. If your nervous system was overloaded with stress, this vibration triggered a massive systemic reboot. To the mystic, it was the serpent rising. To Bentov, it was your biology forcibly clearing its own cache. The problem was, This biological reboot looked exactly like a psychotic break. People experiencing spontaneous Kundalini awakenings were being thrown into psychiatric wards and misdiagnosed with schizophrenia. A psychiatrist named Lee Sanella and researchers Stanislav and Christina Groff had to step in, begging the medical world to stop drugging these people. The Groffs coined the term spiritual emergency. They argued that what looked like a gruesome mental breakdown was actually a violent, necessary upgrade of human awareness, a spiritual emergence. Today, Kundalini has been neatly bundled into a highly profitable wellness industry, packaged into dynamic yoga classes, and sold to stressed-out modern workers. But underneath the pristine yoga studios lies a wild truth. Whether it's a 1,000-year-old goddess of fire burning up your spine, or a biomechanical glitch rebooting your vagus nerve, the human body is hiding a self-destruct button for the ego. And the ancient sages found it first.